In this piano tutorial, we will be learning the song I Love You Forever by Tye Tribbett in the key of E major, and this song was requested through the comment section, so feel free to leave any song requests down below. And also, if you want to support this channel, all you have to do is like the video. That helps out the channel a ton, okay? So what I want to do in this video is share my approach to this song, which is pretty simple. The chords aren't that difficult to learn. But I want to share different gospel or jazz passing chords and chord substitutions, okay? So let's first learn the basic or standard chords of this song, okay? So as I said, we are in E major, and the song starts off on the 4. I love you forever. Then the 6, I love you forever. Then the 5, I love you. Back to the 4, forever, Lord. Then down to the 1, okay? Then the next part of the song says, we give glory to God, 4. Then the 5, glory to God, 6. Back to the 4, glory to God forever. And then the 5. And that's basically the whole song, okay? So let's try to learn a different approach to that first part of the song, which starts on the 4, right? I love you forever, I love you. So we notice that the song goes from the 4 to the 6, and there's a bunch of time and space in between those two chords, so we can begin to experiment with different passing chords, or even start off with different substitutions for these chords, okay? So I love you. Let's spread out the chord a bit and play it like this in A major add 2. I love you forever, I love you. You see, so that's right, that right there is one example or one approach that we can take from the 4 to the 6. You see, we started on the 4, and what I did was I played a F sharp over B flat in this case, right? And then an A flat over C, and then landed on the 6th chord. That's one approach that we can take, and we can also voice it a different way, right? I love you forever, I love you, right? So what I did here was play this voicing, and then I played a diminished chord, a C diminished 7, to get to the 6. Something else that I actually heard in another video, I think this approach is by David Jackson or Dave Jackson, and what he does is something like this. Right, so that's basically a 7-3-6, and what he does was he starts on the 4, then he plays down from B flat to get to the 7 chord. And this 7 chord right here is voiced as an E flat 7 or E flat dominant 7. And then he goes to the 3 chord in the same voicing, dominant voicing, and then lands on that 6. So that's a different approach that we can do. Let's see a different way to do these same types of movements. You see, it's very similar but slightly different. Here what I decided to do was start on the 4, then I went up and played this B flat half diminish, then went down to that 7 chord, and then then played the 3 chord, again trying to maintain the melody. That's why the voicing may be different than before. And then we land on that 6. And in this case, this progression that I did was kind of based on that circle of 4s, right? I started on the 4, and then I just went down the circle of 4s to get to the 6. So I went from the 4 to this chord, B flat, then E flat, then A flat, and then to that C sharp, okay? right, so let's continue on with this section of the song. From the 6, we go down to the 5. And a way that I like to get to the 5 is by playing the 2 as a passing chord, right? So, I love you forever, I love you. And in order to get to that 2, what I want to do is voice the 6, the previous 6, in this case, this one that we are on, as a minor 6 chord, right? And we're going to use this to sort of get to the next voicing on F sharp, which is an F sharp 9. And then we finally get to the 5. But the 5 will be voiced slightly different. And let me show this example, okay? All right, so what I did here was I played whichever passing chords you want to use, right? We land on the 6. Then I went to the 2 as a dominant 7. And then for the 5, I decided to play it as a major 7, just to give it that different type of sound. And the reason why it works out, I think it's mostly because of the melody, right? Since we still have this melody note right here on top, the voicing that we choose for the 5, I guess it doesn't affect it as much. It won't throw us off from the original sound of the song, okay? And then from the 5, right? I love you forever. What I do to get to the 4 is use a 1 as a passing chord. And in this case, I decided to voice it as a dominant chord. Or we can even do this chord as a 1 passing chord, okay? Which is just a E with the dominant 7, and then the right hand plays a C sharp minor, okay? And I like doing this grace note right here just to give it that different spice, okay? And then we get to the 4. And from the 4, the standard way would just be going to the 1, right? So I love you forever, I love you forever, I love you forever, Lord, right? We just go to the 1. But instead of doing that, let's again go back to that Dave Jackson approach. And what he does is go up the scale. So it sounds something like this. I love you forever, I love you forever, Lord. And then we're back to the 4. So what I did here, or what he does here, is go from the 4, I love you, to the 5, then the 6, and this 6 is voiced as a 4 over 6, right? Then a 7, which is just technically a 5 over 7, right? Then a 1, then a 2, but this 2 is voiced as a flat 7 or a D major over, in this case, over a 2, right? So, I love you forever, Lord. Then he goes to the 3 chord, or a 1 over 3, and then goes back to that 1 passing chord that we did before, right? The 6 over the 1. And then we're back to that 4. Alright, so let's move on to the next portion of the song, which is very similar, but the timing is slightly different. We give glory to God, So what I'm doing here is I start off on the 4. We give glory to God. I use the 2 as a passing chord to get to the 5. Glory to God. Then the 6. All right. So we give glory to God. Glory to God. 6, 5, 4. Then a 2. In this case, a minor 2. Forever. And what I like to do here is play around with the melody again, and I basically form a drop 2 voicing on the 6, right? So this is a C sharp minor, where I take the E, which is the second note starting from the right. So 1, 2, and I take this E, drop it an octave, and that's that drop 2 voicing. And I do the same for the 5, which is a B. And in this case, the melody, which is A flat and F sharp, I just play around with those to fit in with the melody, okay? So right, and to get back into that 4, what I did was a 6 chord, then a minor 3 chord, and then we're back to the 4, okay? And that's basically the whole song. So what I want to do now is play it without any interruptions. That way you get a better understanding of how it sounds. And I may throw in some different changes, and hopefully you're able to learn something extra from this section of the video. And if you like the video, feel free to leave a like again. That helps out the channel a bunch.